Good afternoon and welcome to London Lunch Break News. With me, Deigles Eduardo.
And me, Kate Gibson.
Expanding air travel capacity for the capital has come back to the forefront discussion.
So far, any outlined plans have been controversial, with Londoners living under the flight path. But David Cameron says something needs to be done. Alex Joyce reports.
After the government promised to scrap plans of a third runway at Heathrow 5 months ago, there's fresh pressure from the Aviation Authority to take another look at the scheme. We spoke to John Stewart, chairman of HACAN, a campaign group against aircraft noise.
There's been a lot of high-profile lobbying from the aviation industry to try and persuade the government that a third runway is needed. We believe that a third runway is off the agenda for all political parties. All of them have said they will not build it because I think they recognise there was such a campaign of opposition last time. They don't want to face it again, that a third runway, I was arguing in the article, is now politically impossible.
We asked people living under the flight path in Hounslow what they thought.
I think we need the third runway, just because we need more flights. Probably you heard the news that we need more capacity for UK basically, and this is our main airport. So I think we are so limited right now with only 2 runways compared to Amsterdam when you have 7 runways.
Well, I don't think it's fair for the people that live in the area, isn't it? I mean, we're standing up there now and we had the noise up above, so imagine the people that are living there. It must be terrible for them, isn't it?
I think, yeah, it'll be better because the more runway they have, the more planes can land. And if the more planes you get, there's more jobs. So I think it should be okay, yeah.
In an official statement, David Cameron said, "I'm not blind to the need to increase airport capacity, particularly in the southeast. We are acting now to make the best use of existing capacity. Gatwick is emerging as a business airport for London under a new owner competing with Heathrow. But we need to retain our status as a key global hub for air travel, not just a feeder route to bigger airports elsewhere in Frankfurt, Amsterdam or Dubai. Yes, this will be controversial. We will need to take decisions for the long term, and we will be bringing forward options in our aviation strategy, which will include an examination of the pros and cons of a new airport in the Thames estuary." In a climate of uncertainty, it may be some time before we know the final outcome. This is Alex Joyce at Heathrow for London Lunch Break News.
The university boat race is always action-packed, but this year's event took a dramatic turn. Dennis Webb reports.
It's the 158th annual Oxford v Cambridge boat race, and I'm here at Putney Bridge where the race begins. It's watched by thousands along the banks of the Tideway between Putney and Mortlake in London, and by millions more on TV around the world. The boat race is a unique sporting event with 2 very strong squads of athletes, and we can expect to see another great race this year. The exchanging boat race will see oarsmen of 6 nationalities competing as the older, more internationally experienced crew from Oxford take on the younger, heavier Cambridge 8. First raced in 1829, the boat race is one of the oldest sporting events in the world. People going down to watch the boat race this weekend can dig deep for the race's official charity, WaterAid. WaterAid is an international charity focused exclusively on improving poorer people's access to safe drinking water. Mayor of London Boris Johnson will be attending this year's race and will be presenting the Exchanging Boat Race trophy to the winning team. Having attended Oxford University himself, Mr Johnson has always followed the race, and now as Mayor of London he has an even keener interest and appreciation of the significance of this historic event.
Who do you think is going to win? Oxford or Cambridge?
I think Oxford's going to win, but I hope Cambridge wins.
I'm going to have to go with Oxford.
Reason why?
Because I always get it wrong, so I'm back in the wrong team. I want Cambridge to win. Let's go.
I work for a company in Cambridge, so I'm hoping it's going to be Cambridge.
football on his thing. He's doing it, but it doesn't have anything on the end of it.
Now, it could be argued that cheese and wine are a match made in heaven.
The Cheese and Wine Festival on the South Bank is celebrating the perfect partnership. Mani Sobani reports.
The 4th annual Cheese and Wine Festival took place at the London South Bank Centre this weekend. The festival displayed all the best from the cheese and wine industry and managed to gather individuals from around the world. Companies in the cheese and wine industry took this opportunity to advertise their special product.
This is definitely a pro for marketing. A lot of people who don't know about us get to see us, so it really is about that, and obviously about educating people on cheese as well as wine. It attracts a mixture of different people. The type of people that we want to attract are foodies that obviously are passionate about foods and wine and want to not only try the cheese, they also want to buy it. But you do get a lot of tourists as well from overseas. Obviously this is South Bank. So they then spread the word overseas as well. It's speculative because we often get people coming down to our shop saying, oh, I'm from America and so told me about your cheese, so that's cool. But you do get a lot of opportunists that come around and want to try a lot of cheese and just go around basically getting a lot of samples.
It's been really interesting. There's a really massive selection and variation of stuff. It's like the feel of being at a market and it's really sociable and just going around different stalls, and I really like the presentation of everything. The food and the wine and the tasting makes it all the difference.
There was heavy rain. The turnout was very promising, with the visitors challenging the weather.
Is there so many people out that, because it's not such a great sunny day, it's a bit raining?
And finally, London is celebrating the 200th anniversary of the birth of the author Charles Dickens. Our literary correspondent Denise Webb went to find out more.
His own life story was one of rags to riches, which moved him to write most of his works and create the famous characters Oliver Twist, Pip and Scrooge. Charles Dickens' birth is being celebrated by museums across London and marking the 200th anniversary of his birth, and is the first major UK exhibition in 40 years. The Museum of London's exhibition will not only educate but excite its visitors, especially the budding minds of children. The Museum of London recreated the atmosphere of Victorian London through sound and projections, taking you on a haunting journey to discover the city that inspired his writings. Paintings, photographs, costume and objects will illustrate the themes that Dickens wove into his works, and visitors will also get the chance to view original manuscripts from Bleak House and David Copperfield, written in the author's own hand.
The Dickens exhibition is, it's a celebration of 200 years after Dickens' birth, and it's a sort of two-part exhibition. So you get a part of a history of Dickens' life and his inspiration, his writings. There's several of his manuscripts inside as well. And also the second sort of side of the exhibition is about London at the time of Dickens. Because we're the Museum of London, we look at the city a lot more than other museums. And so you can see big changes that happened in London at the time. For example, the introduction of the railways, the changing of sort of communications and of course society, and changes in that as well.
Yeah, I found it very informative. I didn't realise that someone drew the pictures for his weekly paper, which gave you a good idea of what it looked like in those times.
Yeah, it's. I mean, otherwise things like that would have been lost. I'm sure. It's And the artists and the paintings struck me more than anything else. You could almost sense what he got up to, you know, walking London of a night time and where he got his inspiration from. Yeah, it's very good.
I enjoyed how authentic the statues and the pictures were, and how realistic they were. I also enjoyed the ancient artifacts and the detailed history about the pictures and the remade pictures, and how they told of London's history from before prehistoric London to today. I really liked how detailed and authentic everything was.
This is Denise Webb reporting at the Museum of London Dickens exhibition. Back to the studio.
That's it from us. We'll be back again after the national news at 4.
Have a good afternoon.
Goodbye.